How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to City Skylines Nerdköping. It has been a minute since the last episode, but we are back and there is work to be done because I want to start building a new airport. I know that I would say recently built a little domestic airport here in the region. Recently in terms of it was a more recent episode rather than based on when the episodes come. Look, if you're watching this long after it's come out, there was a bit of time between this episode and the last one, okay? It's just the way it is. I got really into Evil Genius 2 and also streaming some things. And also I streamed this briefly at one point in March. So anyway, let's stop rambling and sort of just go straight into it. So this is Nerdköping, for those of you that might be watching this and thinking, what is this that's popped up on YouTube? This is a city I've been working on for a little while. I actually don't know the ratio of people that watch these. You know the way every YouTuber does that thing of like, did you know that 50% of the viewers on this channel haven't actually subscribed? Go ahead and subscribe and let's see if we can get more. You know the way that everyone does that? I actually don't know. And I don't really care either. If people watch my stuff, it's kind of neat regardless if they're well, anyway, I just like that people watch things, okay? If you're subscribed, great. If you're not, then okay. There you go. There's my 2 cents on it. Subscriptions don't mean anything, all right? You don't get more money. This doesn't matter. I don't care. Subscriptions, they ain't worth nothing. Okay? They ain't worth nothing. They're cool milestones. I got a really nice plaque at 100,000 subs. That's fine. That was years ago. We have, in fact, unlocked the, what do you call it? This thing, the Metropolitan airport, which is huge, by the way. But I'm kind of keen to try and do some cool stuff with it. So it's going to live out this way because that's going to give us some good connections to the highway here. And I've already gone ahead and flattened the land out here as well, is what I've done. I flattened the land and I moved this train line sort of out towards the river so that we just have more space to play with. And I've also gone ahead and flattened this land out here and put a quay along here just to try and make it look a little bit more interesting. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna try and put some more just generic buildings out here at some point. I would like to do some kind of transport hub there as well, because we sort of have a transport hub right in the middle here. We have a bit of a transport hub up here because we have, you know, a bus/intercity bus hub. Down here, there's not really anything for transport. So I'd like to do something there. And obviously we're going to have one up here as well. So we'll kind of have one in almost sort of every edge or every corner of the city is what I would like to do. And then of course, you know, we have a bit of a transport hub down here at the airport as well, but that's just a thing. That's kind of on its own. So that's kind of the plan for sort of today / the next probably few episodes. And the way I'm thinking of doing this is that the Metropolitan Airport is essentially gonna go about, I'm thinking about, say, here. And I think that's probably a decent little spot for it. Oh God, okay, maybe, you know, I thought this was flatter than it is. I'm not gonna, I think we need to move it. So we'll move it over this way a little bit and we'll sort of maybe turn it that way a little bit and we'll see, does that flatten it out? Does that give us some nice flat runways? That, well, aside from the fact that it does slightly go uphill on this end, more or less, and I think I'm willing to deal with that. Maybe a little bit, I don't know if I like that. Is it level here? Again, more or less, by the looks of it. Oh God, no, what is happening? I flattened this terrain, what's going on? Okay, we're refunding it. That's fine, oh God, the terrain's not flat at all. Okay, well, this needs fixed. We're going to have to flatten this entire thing, and then I'm going to have to do some editing after the fact to try and make it look a little bit less silly. But I want my airport to be on flat land. I think it's weird to have it be sort of, well, as weird as it was. So that'll do. We'll go ahead and throw the thing, I guess, here. What if I turned it this way? I mean, if I did it that way, then the planes are kind of taking off and landing alongside a a highway, which I guess is fine, right? It's just how do we get vehicles in here is suddenly the question. I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like the plane should be taking off and landing sort of this way. I think this makes more sense. So let's do, I don't know. I don't know. I guess let's do this, and that should keep everything nice and level, which it absolutely is. We'll fix the terrain later on. And sure, that's gonna be a thing. I guess that's gonna be a thing. Okay, these trees might need to go. This bridge probably needs to go, if we're completely honest with ourselves. So I think that train line's gonna have to go over this way and around and connect up over there. So we'll do that in a little bit. But this is fine. This is a start. So let's see what we can do with it, because we do have some things to connect up here. Now, first and foremost, I'm actually thinking this line here would be a really good one to connect. So let me grab some metro lines. Let me grab you. Let me look at tunnels. And we're basically going to say that we go from here. We'll go 20. And my game's going to freeze because it's auto-saving. We'll go 20 and we'll go... What is that? 21? That's going to be great. Okay, we'll go 30. And we'll go 30. So we get a nice big curve there. And then we're basically going to try and connect these guys together. So this guy's going to come straight out of there. And then we're going to try and go, I guess, 20 and something like that. And then we can basically sort of bring these straight together. So that can come down to here. This guy can be brought back a little bit. This guy can be brought over a little bit. And then I should be able to just connect them together like that. And that'll be a connection from this station out to the airport, which then connects back to the middle of everything. And what I think we could also do is... I was gonna say we could try and use this line, but that goes way out the wrong way. I do kind of want a direct line straight to the middle of everything, though, which might require another station, but actually looking at it, I kind of have an idea. This line here isn't being used at all, so if I was to go from here and we go straight underneath everything in the middle of the city, and we start lowering this down a bit, so we'll go down to like minus 30. And what distance are we looking at there? 25. So if I go this way, so that's 25 there. That should be absolutely underneath everything. And I should be able to essentially bring it up here and connect it straight to there. And that now gives us a direct line from the middle of the city. So from right down here, going all the way out to the airport and then straight back to here, which is fantastic. Now that line, I don't even know what vehicles to use on it. Honestly, it's been a minute since I've used all of this. We could use the DLR lines or the DLR trains. That might not be a terrible idea. It doesn't really matter since the whole thing's underground, so let's just use DLR vehicles, and that'll be fine. And the line... Oh, God, what was the color? Was it BA 1414? It absolutely was. BA 1414. Good old flight from Belfast City Airport, I think? I don't remember what the exact revelation was on that, but I remember earlier in this series, I was talking about how that number seemed really familiar to me, and then it turned out it was a flight that I've been on many times. But I think that'll be pretty good for a couple of metro connections out to the airport. I do want to do a train line, though. I really want to do a train line. I'm just not 100% sure how I'm going to do it. Because I'm also wondering if there's any point in doing it. Because, I mean, the trains are going to go to the center of the city, and then you just get on, you know, you get the metro to the center, and then you just hop on a train and go wherever you're going. So I don't know if a train line's necessary. Same with buses, honestly, but I mean, I'm probably going to do buses here just because, well, buses. But we'll see. Regardless, let's go ahead and do some roads. And what I'm thinking for this is we are going to do some avenues, because I think an avenue kind of makes sense. So that's 20 right there. That's 20 right there. And it makes me very happy. I'm not going to lie. It makes me really happy that that actually measures out properly. So that's good. We've got that going for us. And I think that looks okay. And what I could even do with that, I think, if I have this guy, okay, not that one. If I have this guy, is I could absolutely do some parking lots just along here, which I am not at all against doing. So we can sort of space these out. There is going to be a little bit of a weird space at the end there, but I think that looks okay. To be honest, just a couple of parking lots along the airport. I'm also not sure why there's no fence here. There's a fence on this side where the helicopters come in, but there's no fence on this side where, you know, there would be a plane. That's weird to me. Okay, maybe we're not going to do parking lots because I think I'm going to have to do my own fencing there. And actually, I'll tell you what we're also going to do. We're going to go and get ourselves the tree brush. And I'm going to go and just remove all of these trees. We can put them all back in later on. But right now, I think just taking these guys out so I have all this space to work with is kind of going to be for the best. So that'll give us some good space to work with. In terms of connecting this thing to everywhere else, that's going to be the next challenge. Because we have a lot of stuff built in here, right? So if I was to go and say, you know, give me... See, I want one of these. I want some kind of interchange. I really... It's huge is the problem. I wonder if I could get away with a roundabout. That's kind of what I'm wondering. Could I get away with a roundabout? Or could we use this roundabout, bring the road over, do some kind of bridge to connect there, and then have this sort of come up and connect to that roundabout? So there's no direct way from the city to drive into the airport. That might be a really weird road, though. Because what you're going to end up with is traffic from here deciding to use the airport road. I mean, I could do an Old Town policy, but they'd be inclined to use that road to get over here and avoid these highways. That would be a way to do it, though, I guess. And I think what I'm going to do is, even if it ends up being temporary, I think what I want to do is I want to flatten the land here. And I kind of do want to do that. Just, again, you know, temporary, whatever it may be. I want just some road connections to the airport. So what distance is this? 7. So if I go 7 on this side, and I go ahead and grab a couple of highway roads. So I can grab this one, and I can grab this one, and I kind of want these guys to have proper paving underneath of them. So pavement, going out to there, and going to there. And then I'm going to be inclined to say that it's probably going to need to be a 4-lane national highway. So we'll go 5 to there, and get rid of you. And then a little bit of traffic management just to make sure you guys are not going to be U-turning. And maybe we should maybe we should do multiple lanes on these just for better traffic management. We'll see if that works out. I mean, I don't imagine there's going to be that much in the way of airport traffic, but just to be sure. So that's all kind of done. If I go ahead and just grab all of those nodes, I want to make sure it's all nice and level. So those guys are nice and level. We'll go ahead and level you to that height, which is perfect. And then I think I'm just going to turn it into a tunnel. It's going to turn into a tunnel. It's going to rise up somewhere over here. And then essentially that'll be our connection for the airport. So let me go ahead and grab an avenue. And we'll bring it out by another... Well, actually, we'll raise it to there. We'll grab that node. We'll raise it to there. And that looks like it'll go pretty well over that river. And then it has to dip down immediately to go under the train line, which is kind of a pain, but whatever. We can manage that. Let's just grab tree brush and do this right here to sort of cut straight through. Even though there is going to be a tunnel, I'm just going to do this to cut straight through. So Bring this over to about there. We then need to bring it down to ground level, and we then need to turn it into a tunnel. And that actually looks like it might just about work. So if I level this guy down to there, that's pretty good, honestly. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of pleased with that. So let's make sure these guys are all level here. So level to that height, which they are. You are going to be level to that height as well, and that honestly is perfect. I'm really pleased with that. So this guy's just going to continue. That is going to slightly adjust the tunnel, but that's fine. This guy's going to continue to there, and then this guy needs to go underground. So let's go ahead and do a nice tunnel over here as well. In fact, we'll use these roads just because they're better for measurements. So you're going to go 12, and we are going to grab you and then just lower it until it looks okay, which honestly, that kind of does. So that's fine. That's actually going to work out really nicely for us. And now we just need to connect them together. So let's have the type of road change a little bit, just because, you know, that'll give us some faster traffic for a little bit. And we'll maybe bring you over a little bit further. So to about there. We'll turn on road guidelines, connect them together, and that is now one of our airport connections, which is kind of fantastic. So let's go ahead and put the trees back in just to fill up the... I love this tree brush is honestly so good. I love that I can just immediately make that blend in and it just works. I also love that if I... It's just really good at getting rid of trees too. So if I line myself up with this runway, hold right click and do this, it just gives us a straight path through there where there's just absolutely no trees, which I like. I like that. So that's pretty good. That's going to be our connection. And I just want to double check and make sure. Ooh, I really should redo these junctions. How is it it's delete and backspace to get rid of them. Let's just do this. And let's just assume that if I just shift click the roundabout, it'll figure it out itself. Because I imagine it sort of will. It'll probably be okay. But that's good. So that gives us a connection to the airport via the metro and via the roads. And actually looking at this, we could probably do a tunnel here as well and just tunnel and like bring the tunnel out over here. That might be a thing to do. We could also do underground roundabouts, but that seems like a dreadful idea. That seems really... Something about that, it just seems dystopian to me. I don't know if it's just me that gets that vibe, but like an underground, just, you know, not a dark tunnel, but one of those, like lit by sort of the old kind of orange lights. Just surrounded by concrete, going in a circle, trying to find the right... That seems really... it sounds like the plot of like a really weird movie, honestly. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I'm getting at here, but it just sounds weird. Anyway, I think that's what we're going to try and do. So what distance did I go for in this? That's 10. So if I go 10 here and I say, you know, tunnel and grab you and bring it down to ground level, it actually does work out. So it just works. So I think maybe that is what we're going to do. Maybe we just have tunnels. Maybe the airport seems like really almost disconnected from the city. I did want to put some stuff in here though, but that might not be a thing we can do. Huh. I don't know. This is weird. This is definitely weird. Maybe we try and do some sort of like car showrooms and stuff out here, but oh, they really would want to have access from the highway here, wouldn't they? This is a really weird thing that I'm doing, but I'm gonna commit to it. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna commit to this because it's weird and I kind of like it. Now, this side over here, we kind of need to do the same thing. So let's flatten this. Let's grab ourselves some road, and basically we want to go 7. We want to go and grab you. So out there and there. And then we want to grab you. go about 5, get rid of you, and then essentially just do the same thing with the roundabout. So, delete, 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 delete. And we'll delete this one as well, just because I can. We want to grab you and shift click the entire roundabout. We then want to make sure you're turning properly, which you are. We want to make sure you are turning properly, which you are. And we want to do some tunnels. And this is going to be weird. This bit is going to be weird because this is where, you know, we're dealing with some really ridiculously steep roads. Like this is just weird looking. So let's turn you back into an elevated, not an elevated road, sorry, a ground level road. Okay, we'll do that instead. That's fine. Not really what I was looking to do there, but okay. So you're staying ground level. I need you to snap to the grid so that this actually works properly, which I think that does. Can I just take this underground and not have it be weird? Is that an option? That is. Oh, it is an option. Okay. So that works. That's fine. We can do that. We want you to go straight on and straight on. And then I need to turn this into a road like that. Okay, so that works out. It's, again, a little bit weird because of the hill, but I think what I might have to do is just sort of raise up these roads a little bit. Maybe not that much, but just a little bit. And then grab the node over here and sort of raise it up kind of like that. So it's kind of level. And then a bit of smoothing around here. And I think I can probably make that, well, I say I can probably make that work. It looks like this right now, which is rough. But, you know, it's smooth, but rough. But that'll do for now. Again, you know, this is all sort of a work in progress. I say it's a work in progress. It's a hopeful work in progress. I really hope I can change this and make it look like something that's not terrible, but I'm also not entirely holding out faith that I can do that. We'll see, is what we'll do. We'll see what happens. So let's bring this guy up to about here. Let's turn this guy sort of that way. We'll turn on guidelines and do that. Now that looks ridiculous, but I think if I grab that node and just lower it down. In fact, if I grab all of them, so grab all of these guys, and then I just want to lower them to the same height as that one. So now they're actually level. And then grab all of these guys and just do a slope. That's a little better. Admittedly, the terrain's kind of weird, but that's a little bit better. So if I just hit that with a smoothing brush, that's still not okay. But that, you know, you get the idea. It could be worse. Let's just, you know, raise it up a little bit. We'll hit it with a couple of bits of this and then hit it with a good old smoothing brush. So a little bit of weird terrain there, but that's fine. And I think that'll kind of, wait, what is that? Is that a bit of weird terrain? It might be. Regardless, we now have tunnels that connect the airport to everything else. So I think what I'm gonna need to do is do a district. So let's just do this because it's kind of the easiest way to do it. And I'm kind of just gonna paint a giant square. Just something like that. And honestly, that kind of works, but I think what I can do is just cut off that bit. I can cut off that bit. Cut off that bit. And from this side, cut off that bit. So now we actually just have a giant square, and it'll be, hold on, let me grab the name of the city here properly with the thing over the O. Nerdköping International. It's not an international airport though, is it? How do you, I don't want to try and spell, okay, you know what? We'll do that. We'll click it. We'll grab the words Metropolitan Airport and we'll throw it there. Nerdköping Metropolitan Airport. Perfect. So that's what that is. which means I can go to that district and I can say Old Town Policy. So now we have traffic that's not gonna try and use these roads as a means to avoid the highway, in theory. That's definitely a big in theory, but it's in theory. As for this space over here, let's go ahead and just smooth it out a little bit. So there we go. And I think that looks okay. Now that that's done though, I guess it's probably time to look into some other things for this area. Because I think today we're going to try and focus on getting it connected to everything. So let's do a bus line that goes from here. And then maybe from there to the airport could be an idea. That's maybe a bit of a weird one. I'll tell you what we'll do. Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's go from here. So from here, I want to go from there to the Metropolitan Airport, but I'm actually thinking about it even further. I kind of want to put a bus sort of station out here. So what is this? Intercity bus station, intercity bus terminal. Wait, what is this? Intercity bus station uses coaches for people to travel to and from the city. Intercity bus terminal, larger alternative to the bus station. Okay, so that's fine. That's not really what I'm looking for though. So in terms of other things, what is this? Bus intercity bus hub, bus metro hub, metro intercity bus hub, train metro hub. Okay, so none of these are really what I'm looking for either. I think we're just gonna have to use the normal bus station. So I think it could go there. Or what we could also do is a little bit of this. So if I was to come off of here and I was to go, 4 units that way, and I was to come off of here and go 4 units that way, we could do something like this, where we do very intentionally have traffic sort of pushed back from the main kind of airport a little bit. In fact, I'd even be inclined to... That lined up weird. I'd even be inclined to go a bit further back again. So connect those guys together and get rid of these ones in the middle. Just so we kind of actually use up the space a bit better. So something like that. Because then we can also do parking lots in here. And parking lots, I mean, they're kind of a thing. Airports do tend to have a considerable number of parking lots. So... This seems like an idea. Let's go ahead. And actually what we could even do is put things like bus depots out here as well. That's probably not a terrible idea, just to sort of flesh out the space a little bit. But what I want to do is have a bus that goes from there right down to the little town. Annoyingly, it's doing some weird stuff with the stops there. I don't really like that. Not a tremendous fan of it doing that. That's really weird. Do I want it to share a stop with another thing? Not really. I think we're just gonna have to deal with that. Really weird that it's doing it, but I think we're just gonna have to deal with it. And then here it's gonna be something like that, I guess. Now what are we gonna call this? So this would be, I guess, town/Met Airport line. Actually, let's do Met, Met Airport to town. And that'll be fine. I kind of like the color. I do kind of like the color on that. But I think I'm going to stick with the purple. Well, no, you know what? I think we are going to stick with the color we got on that. Because that's actually pretty good. The purple being for this airport's fine. This one can sort of have a sort of greenish color. And then in terms of buses, I think it's going to have to be the double decker. Going from, well, maybe not. What about the Volvo hybrid? What do you guys use? You guys use the Citaro C11. Okay. Let's just use... let's use the... no, we're going to have to use the double-decker. I think going from the little town that far, I think it needs to be the double-decker. So the Type Volvo double-decker, we'll kind of let it do its thing. And I'm actually going to get rid of these roads as well because they're going to cause some weird stuff with the buses. That's much better. Okay. So that works out, I guess. We'll let the buses kind of do their thing. I'm also kind of inclined to say that maybe we turn off the traffic lights here because I don't think we're going to need them. But we can do some give way signs. So, you know, traffic in there and here can all give way to traffic on the main roads there. And I think that'll be pretty good. And in terms of other things out here, I mean, here's what I'm thinking, right? What I'm thinking is that maybe we do a road that sort of comes alongside the highway here. And then maybe that road could sort of connect like that. And this is where we could do a lot of parking. And we could do some buildings out here as well and try and fill up the space that way. Because I do really want to fill this space as best I can. I really do. I don't want this all just sitting completely empty. I think that's just going to look weird. So we'll bring that road out for a second because I want to connect these guys together first and foremost. And then I think we'll have this road be just a little further away from the highway so it can connect maybe a little further than that. So about there. And then we'll bring it down. And that actually kind of works out nicely because it lets me go to there without it being super weird. So take out these trees. Grab you and level you to that height. And then basically, I want to go along this entire section and slope it like that. So that, I think, will work out pretty well. It's a little weird, but we could do parking out there. And we could also bring this road out to... I'm going to say probably about that far and bring it down. You know, keeping it nice and ground level and all that. But again, you know, gives us a bit of space to play with. Something a little bit different. And then I think I'm going to have to start hitting these edges with a smoothing brush. But this is kind of neat. I'm kind of excited to see this working out. Do we have a power connection? We do. So this thing is actually up and running now, which is fantastic. That's exactly what we need, is this thing to be actually up and running. I'm kind of excited to see this start working out. I really am. And then in terms of buses, I have no idea what to do with buses. I'll be honest about that. I want this station here. I know we have the one going from the town, but beyond that, I've got no idea. I have to be real. I have no idea what to do with the buses beyond the little town there. Now, in terms of these paths, I do just want to make sure that they are right up against the pavement there, because I do want people to be able to walk back and forth here. That's another thing I want to do with this. And actually thinking about it, taxi stands are definitely something I want here as well. So maybe that's what we do along this front section, is a bunch of taxi stands. Because that's something at every airport I've been to, there's always just a ridiculous... I say ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. It makes sense. It's an airport. But there's always a lot of taxis. So something like that, I think, kind of makes sense. And I realize I've not done water out here. Of course I haven't. Of course I forgot to do water. Raise your hand if you're surprised. Interesting. I don't see anybody raising their hand. I wonder why. I wonder why. But there we go. I mean, we have planes coming in, and they both have people on them, which is great. Now, I imagine those people are probably... Wait, is that one leaving? What the hell? Oh, neat. Okay. I imagine those people are probably going to immediately get into cars. Actually, it looks like some of them are going back into the airport. What the hell? What are they doing? Oh. Okay, wait, what is number 6 line 2? Oh. Wait, what? Hold on. Metro U. Number 6 line 2. So that is going to be City line 6, right? Yeah, so City line 6 is what that's going to be. So that's all situated. So yeah, they're all actually just going to go down and use the metro, which, to be fair, makes sense, right? There's none of them. None of these people are at all interested in not using the metro. They're coming out of the airport to get a breath, right? They've been sat in a tube in the sky for the past however long. They take a step outside, they look around and go, nah. It's like me before the pandemic. I'd open the door, breathe in the air, and just cough up a lung. No, not for me. That's not for me. Outside, no. I'll also tell you what I want to do. I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want is these roads to not look weird, which might be a little much to ask for, but I'm determined to make this work. So if I go from there to there, I think that looks better. And that could even be curved if I really wanted it to be. What distance is this? Is that exactly 6? I will assume it's exactly 6. So if I cut that bit out, I can do that right there. And I think that looks okay. So that'll be kind of cool. What I do want to do is, and we'll do this before we start moving to wrap up the episode, because one thing I am going to be trying to do with just the channel in general is making sure the episodes of anything aren't, you know, tremendously long. What I want to do is level this guy to that height. Actually, level him to that height, just to be sure. And I want to bring a road out here, out to about, I guess about there. And down like that. And we'll make sure that that is all just perfectly level with everything else in the area, which it is. And that's going to give us just a bit more space to play with, because I do still want to put parking lots in here. But I also want to put in some unique buildings, some slightly smaller unique buildings, admittedly, but unique buildings nonetheless. You know, a casino, for example, could maybe go out here. That might be a little silly, but at the same time, a casino across the highway from a college seems like a great idea. Metropolitan Airport. And I think we are probably going to look to keeping these roads out here and out here as well. Even if it is a little bit silly, it is going to mean that we have to put in our own services for this area. But to be fair, I was probably going to do that anyway, you know? So not a huge deal having to put in these services. But I think, like I said, I think that's going to do us. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Welcome back to Nerdköping, like I said right at the top of the video. But thanks for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.